Evening, Penny, sweetheart. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I am making tonight. I am making a snippet basket. A basket to put your snippet pieces in, and I'm calling it a sewing runner, if I can call it that. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Linda, sweetheart. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. I'll give it a few more seconds for everybody to join us. But I was just telling, I don't know whether you ladies heard me. If you didn't, I am creating tonight a snippet basket, and I'm also creating a I'm calling it like a runner, but yeah, that's the only way I would call it. It's going to go under the sewing machine, and the basket is going to be hinged onto the runner. So, you know, when you're sewing, or you could even just make the basket by itself, depending on whatever you wanted to do. But that's what I'm creating tonight. So, I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I didn't come on last night. I wasn't feeling well yesterday, hence why I didn't come on. But I'm feeling a bit better today, a lot better actually. So yeah, that's hence why I didn't come on last night. So I hope you're all having a lovely weekend, and I hope that tonight's live makes it even better for you. I've cut my pieces out. Like I say, I just want to give it a couple of more seconds for everybody to join us. Yeah, I don't know whether you ladies saw, but the lovely Sarah announced her winner of her challenge yesterday. I did watch that, and that was really nice to do that challenge. And she had it just in time. I posted it Thursday, and she had it Friday just in time. So let me run through these measurements with you. So I put them all in the description bar below anyway. But so you could either make the runner, or you can make the basket, or you could make a bit of both. Totally up to you. So I'll go through the basket pieces first. So this is what you need to make the basket. So I've got some wire. Now, a bit strange for a basket, but the wire, we'll see why I've got some wire. You don't necessarily have to use wire. You don't need to use wire at all. I'm going to use wire because I want my basket to hold a little bit of a shape to it, and that's the only reason I'm using wire. Anything to hold its shape will do perfectly, but I'm going to be using wire. Then you need, now I'm using 2 pieces of fabric, so I'll run through them first. This is going to be my outer, my basket, and this will be measuring wrong side. This will be measuring 9 by 16, so 16 that way, 9 that way. This is my outer fabric. This is my linen fabric, my lining fabric, I should say. Lining. This measures 11 times 15. Of course, you've just seen the wire, and I've got my little hinge to hold my basket to my runner, and it measures 5 by 3. And then I've also you can make your own border, whatever you want to do, but I've also got a bit of lace as well, because I actually want to put a bit of lace on tonight. Feeling in the mood to put lace on, so that's what I'm going to do. So my pieces of lace just measure, I've got 2 only because I just wanted to double it up, and they just measure over 16, a bit bigger than my pieces. So this is the basket. Then, so we'll do the what should we do first? Basket. I'll ask you which ones should we do first. So this is the basket. Let me run through the measurements first, and then for the sewing runner, so it'll go into your sewing machine, and it's gonna, the weight of the sewing machine will keep the basket on. Now you can have your basket attached to anything you want. Doesn't necessarily have to be a runner. Hi Ariane, sweetheart. Doesn't necessarily have to be a runner. It could be a pin cushion. That would be really pretty. Just put a bit of weight in the pin cushion for your basket to hold on the side. So I'm making a runner. Now you can use what I call a jelly roll. Now jelly rolls, they come in sort of different sizes. Chris, can you bring a basket back in? Right, so these are my just pieces from a jelly roll. Now you can get different pieces. And these measure 2.5 inches. They are they're about 18. Oh, I'm going to be 8. What's 2 times 18? 2 18s. What
36.
Is it? 36 inches. Thank you, Chris. Oh, my word. 36 inches. And these are in a snippet roll, but I've cut my lengths. I'm not going to use this pieces in a snippet roll, but you can do. It's totally up to you. I'm just giving you sort of an idea. Lavender, yes, Miss Rian, it's absolutely stunning. And I bought a big massive meter of it, and yeah, my table runner, sorry, and my basket is going to be made out of this very fabric. So right, so the runner, I've only got 4 pieces now. There's a reason why I've got 4, because I've started to sew the runner together, but you'll need 5 of each, measuring at 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches times 17, and they're quite long. There's the 17, and it's 2.5 inches wide. So 5 of each fabric. So I've picked 2 fabrics, but you can pick as many fabrics as you want them to be. And there's 5 of each. But like I say, I've started to sew some. I will show you later on what I've sewed. And you'll need 5 of each of them. And then a main piece of fabric for your back, and some wadding or batting for in between. And that's how you make the runner. So I'm going to start making this basket first to get this out of sort of, I've got it in my head of the way I want to do it. I'm going to leave them there for a second. So these are the pieces that you'll need. So you've got I've got my outer, my lining, my little hinge, and my wire, and my lace. So I'm going to put the lace and the wire to one side because I don't need that at the moment. I'm going to concentrate on the hinge. So I'm going to bring this, and I'm just using fabric that is coordinating this nicer. You know, works nice well together. So I'm going to put them aside, and then put that there. Okay, so the hinge. Now the hinge measures at 5 inches times 3 inches. Now this little hinge will, this is the little fabric that's going to attach your runner to your basket. So all those little scraps that come from your sewing machine, they'll go straight into the basket, and you won't have to think twice about it. So your little hinge. First of all, now I have sewed all the sewed, not sewed, where am I going? I have ironed all these. First of all, we need to iron our piece. Now, because this is our hinge, this is our main bit of fabric that's going to attach the 2 pieces, I'm going to put a bit of fabric starch on the top, and I'm going to just run it over. Right. The next thing we need to do, put your sides together. I'm going to find my middle. And I'm just going to just iron the middle where I know what it is. I'm going to get rid of these straddly lines. Because I don't want them getting caught in my machine. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is, let me move this iron because I'll end up burning myself. Is I'm going to sew from there. There. I'm going to sew down, across, and then back up. So you only sew 3 sides. And you leave the top side open. So that's what we're going to do. I know, Miss Sarah, you love fabric. I love fabric. I know you love fabric, but lavender, I was going to say. Yeah. Oh, my word. What am I like? Right. I hope you guys can see the sewing machine. Let me know if you can't, and I'll adjust it. Yeah. Just checking you can see it. So, 1/4 inch seam allowance on both. Now, I've got my 1/4 foot in. And it is on quick. So I'm going to go down the side. On this side. I won't go this quick all the way round, but for the little hinge I will. Hinge. Cut that off. So these are the 3 sides. So I'm going to make you feel a bit dizzy doing all this, but I hope that I don't make you feel too dizzy. So now we've done the 3. Now I'm going to turn the entire thing. Didn't catch our side. Wait a sec. Need to make sure I caught it. There. Turn the whole thing inside out. You can use anything to turn it inside out. So you almost make a little lavender pouch. Get what I did there? Oh my word. Right. Now the next thing we need to do is a bit fiddly. I'm going to take these corners. I'm just going to fold them in. One side. And then, sew that side in. Come on, you will go in. I know you will. That will get in somewhere. And the easiest way to sew this little opening, we don't need to put batting in between because it's just our hinge, is that. Just going to steam press the entire thing. That's not, can't be even itself. Come on. There, that's better. And then push that in, and then I'm going to press that again. Now I've played with it a little bit more. Now it's done and as it's told. Oops, I cut that off. So I have threads everywhere. And then I'm just going to stitch up the top. I'm going to go around my corners as well. So, like I say, I'm not going to go quick quick stitch all the way around. It's just that I don't really have to come on. Try again. Oh my word, don't want it. There. And that's our little hinge done, sealed. Woohoo! Get in there. Oh my word. Right. So that little hinge we can put aside. And that is the hinge. That hinge is the hinge that's going to attach our our runner, not rubber, where am I going? Our runner and our basket together. And if you want to put any embroidery on, or you want to put your name on, the name needs to go that way, because it's going to be folded. One half's going to go on that side and one half's going to go on that side. So whatever you want to do or wherever you want to add needs to sort of go this way across, so it reads that way. I know I'm not making any sense, but anyway, that's our runner done. So our basket. So our basket, let me reference back. Right, so this is my outer lining. This is my inner lining. Outer fabric, inner fabric. And you've been on the gym class. I know. I can't, my words are not with me at all tonight. Right. We are going to now attach some lace. Some lace. And all this is quarter of a seam, quarter of a, my word, definitely been on the gym, Ryan. Oh my word. We definitely, right, try again. We're going to attach this lace onto our pretty fabric. Right, so it needs to go our pretty fabric needs to go this side and this side. And I'm going to pin all this in place before I take it over to the sewing machine. Now it's totally up to you whether you want to sew up the top and sew down the bottom, or whether you just want to do it up the top. Completely up to you. So I'm going to put the pins so they are facing the way I'm sewing, if this makes any sort of sense, so I can take them out as I sew. And I've doubled the lace up because I just fancy some lace going on, of course. Now, I'm wondering whether I've got to sew them. Oh, I could do. Oh, I've just had an idea. I've just had a thought. It wouldn't matter then. I'm going to do it this way. So I've got a top and a bottom. and I'm going to do a bottom stitch and a top, a bottom stitches down the bottom and a top stitches up the top. Oh my words are not with me at all. Hi Shirley, sweetheart. One there. There's one there. And this is doubled up on my lace. There's one. There. Oops. One there. And there's one. Oh. Like I say, you can make the basket or you can just make the basket. You can either make the basket, plural, or you can make the runner, or you could make the basket and runner. Totally up to you entirely. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the edge of that lace because I don't want to go off center. That's right. There, and it gives me a border. Right, so what I'm going to do is, you know what, wait a minute. I've just had a thought. If I double it up, I've just, how many times have I changed this? Countless. My word, man, what's wrong with me tonight? Come on. I'm going to double it up. Double it up. 4 doubles. So I'm stitching it down the bottom too. I'm going to stitch it up the top. Like so. And I'm going to stitch that there. Oh, and I got some vintage buttons today. Brainwave. I know, you could see my brain. You could see my brain. I bet everybody could see my brain going where I was going to go then. Linda's giving me all the thumbs up. I was like, that doesn't look right. What can I do to change that? Right, one pin just in the center there. So all I'm going to do now, snip that off. I'm going to take you over here. Tell me if you can see. If you can't, I'll move it. It's nice as you can see more of the beautiful fabric. Definitely, Rian. A quarter of inch seam allowance again. Let me know if you can't see whether I need to move it up or down. Let me see. No. Come on, Colette. Move it, move it, move it. Yeah. Right. I'm going to go under my machine and I'm going to take these pins out as I go. Slow down. I'm trying to stop the machine. I realize I got it on fast. And pin this section. Unpin that one. cut it, and we're off. Yeah, Rian tried my sewing machine when she came down. When we met up during the week, and she had a go. She was very brave. She was like, I don't. Go on, Rian, you can do it. You can do it. Right, cut these sides off because we don't need all this lace on the edge. I'm not bothered about it being stitched by here for a second because I now want to attach my lining fabric. So what we're going to do is stitch that there like so. Get your lining fabric. Actually, go the other way around to make sure I got it right. So you got the lining facing up, and like I say, I've got some buttons and lace and all that doodah I want to put on here. Pretty sides facing together and sandwich the lace in. If you use lace, you don't have to use, you could use a border if you wanted to. Hello, dearest Angie. I wouldn't have let me near it. I know you were so brave, Rianne, sweetheart, and you were nervous at the same time. So I'm going to pin all these together to make sure I'm going in the right direction. And no, that one's good. I'm opening that back in. There's that. And it does help if your fabrics are all ironed as well. Because the last thing you want is a crease basket. Like you say, you could make one of these separate to the runner, or you can join it onto the runner, whatever you wanted to do. Hope you all. More the better for seeing you, Ange. You were ever so brave, Rian, with that machine. And you, bless your little cotton socks, you did have a go. And I was so chuffed that you did have a go. Because you looked, as I was getting it, you was like, no, I don't want to go in case you break it. What am I making, Miss Colette? Miss Angie, I am making a basket that's hinged to a sewing runner. I'm calling it a runner, but I could be completely, it could be a mat, I don't know. But at the moment I'm making the basket. So it's going to be two things that's hooked on together that you can use. And the idea is that the basket is on the side of your table. You don't have to make the basket and attach it to a runner. It's just what I want to do basically. Hiya, Sue, sweetheart. You don't have to make the basket to attach it to the runner. You could make the basket and make yourself a little pin cushion and attach a pin cushion on the end of the basket. You don't even have to attach the basket to anything. You could just have it as a basket. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything specific. But I'm making a basket at the moment, and then I'll be attaching this to a runner, and the runner will be going under my sewing machine. So when I'm sewing, I'm going to have a little snippet basket that I can put my snippets in as I sew. And that way then, as I sew, I'm not thinking about all the mess around me, so it'll catch. Well, I can just push it all into the basket. That's the idea. Whether it'll work like that, I don't know. So we've, I've got these are the measurements for the basket, and so you'll need 2 pieces of fabric. You need 1 piece for the outer fabric, which my outer piece is this, and that measures 9 inches times 16. You'll need 1 lining fabric that measures 11 inches times 16, which is this. you'll need 1 piece of thick wire. You don't have to use wire, but I'm gonna because it'll hold the shape a bit better. And you'll need a hinge piece. We've just done the hinge, and the hinge piece is 5 times 3 inches. So what? Pretend this is 5 times 3. And all you do is fold it in half, inside out, because we've already done a hinge. And you sew down here, up there, and across. But it does have to measure 5 by 3. Front, the writing is back to front. Okay, wait a second. Now is it back to front? In there. Should sort itself out. I'm hoping it will. Oh my word. Ah, there we are. Right, okay, so I'll run through. Oh yeah, you were supposed to guess the measurements. I'll run through the measurements again. So the basket. Let me move all this out the way. I won't go any further. Now you can all see the writing. My word. Right, you'll need 1 piece of outer fabric. 2 pieces of fabric you'll need. I'm using 2. So the outer piece of fabric and your lining fabric. The outer piece of fabric measures at 9 inches times 16, and the lining measures at 11 times 16. You'll need your wire to keep your shape, and you'll need your hinge piece. Now your hinge piece measures, there's the writing. I'm hoping you can see it a bit better now. I'm sort of doing out of the mirror. Your hinge piece, which we've already sewn, measures 5 inches times 3, and it gets folded in half like that. So just imagine this is the 5 times 3, and you sew up that way, down that way, and up that way. So you make basically a little pouch. Then you turn that inside out, take your seams in, and then you sew. All the measurements, as Rhiannon lovely said, is in the description box. So if you want to craft along, you can. I have put them all in the description box. I thought of that this week. I didn't think of it last week, but yes, they're all in the description box. Thank you, Rhiannon, for reminding me. I would have just forgotten. So that's your hinge piece. So the hinge is nothing, but that is the piece that's going to attach your runner and your basket together. And there's nothing in between that fabric. So that's the basket. We've done the hinge, and we're just working on the basket now. And the other thing I had was this lace. And what I did was, this is what we've got up to, because I know some of you are just coming in. Say this is the outer piece of the fabric. Ignore the lace a minute. Say this is the outer, but it's not. Just say, for example, it is. What I did is I had a piece of lace, and I doubled it again on the longer length of your fabric, and then I turned one piece sort of face the other way, and then I folded it up. So I doubled it and doubled it again, and then I sewed that then to my outer piece, which is that, and then that's as far as we've got. And then what I'm doing now is I'm sewing all my pieces together to create our basket sort of piece. So I've got the lining piece, my lace that I've just sewn, and then my outer fabric. Now your outer fabric is bigger than your lining. It is. That's just the way it is. So that is as far as we've got on the basket. So we've done the hinge, and I'm just doing the baskets now. And then the runner piece, which is a bit complicated, but I'll do the basket first for you not to sort of think that I'm confusing you all, because if somebody gave me all the measurements at once, I'd totally get lost. So I'm going to do the basket first, and then I'm going to talk about the runner, which is like 2-second thing. But yeah, you can make these out of anything you want, and you can add anything to them. So at the end of the day, all they're there for is to catch the snippets. And also it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance as well. So I'm just got my foot, and I'm hoping my YouTube's catch up. There we are. And I'm going to put that down. I'm going to take these pins out as I go. And I'm just sewing these up. But yes, that's as far as we've got. So I'm just doing my 1/4 seam allowance, and I'm measuring all my sewing all my fabrics together. Oops. Okay. And I've got my iron on as well. It does help. You don't need to spray. The only thing I've spray starched so far is the hinge. You don't need to spray starch the fabrics, the outer or inner. It's only the hinge, because we don't need to stiffen the basket up, because that's why we've got the wire for. But you will need to perhaps stiffen the hinge up, because it's the hinge that will allow your basket to be sewn to your runner to be sewn to your basket. So that's the only thing I've sprayed starched. Something's gone wrong here. Right. I'm gonna check something as I finish this. I've just done. See how I've just done some more of my outer fabric. So what I'm gonna do is, because they should have measured the same, but I knew I'd cut one bigger than the other. It doesn't matter, because I can always cut it down. So I'm gonna cut this. Which side it is? This side. I'm just gonna cut this down, making sure I've got my pins where I need them. There. You definitely need more tonic in your drink in charge of the iron and a super duper sew machine. I know. I don't, Marie. Oh gosh. My words are not with me tonight, so anyone just watching, you're just gonna have to guess tonight's video. Right, I've just sewn cut that. I know I cut one bigger than the other, so it doesn't really matter. I'd rather have more than less, because you can never add on, but you can always cut off. So that's as far as we've got so far. This is what it'll look like. Right, I'm just going to move my machine over a bit. So my next bit is we are going to iron, because we've got to iron our seam allowances. And I'm just going to take this inside out a minute, and I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to just break apart these seam allowances. Yep. just makes for better sewing if it goes flat. And you'll need them flat anyway, because when you come to doing a couple of steps ahead, you rely on these seam allowances being flat. Move that up a little bit. Break that apart. Take some time ironing them out as well, because you don't want any of your, like I say, your seam allowances to come undone, because you will rely on this in the next few steps. There they are. That's that one. They're all nice and flat for me to continue. I'll move them out the way because I don't need to iron them. Right, your next thing you need to do is we need to sew these together. So what we need to do is push the lace or whatever, the border, whatever you've put as your little border around your basket, because that's what the lace is for, is the border around the basket. And I'm just pushing it towards the outer fabric because I don't want it on the inside. Turn it that way, perhaps it might help it. There we are. Okay. So next step, we get there, is, and I've never made one of these before. I've written down the instructions because I watched a YouTube channel make the basket. As for the runner, I've come up with the runner in my own mind, so I know what I'm doing with the runner. So that's why I keep halting and checking my little book to make sure I'm doing what I'm doing correctly, because I don't want my basket to turn out completely wrong, because I love this fabric too much to mess up with my cutting. Right, we've now done that. So yeah, we're on this side. So turn it that way, and we are going to sew the lining. We're going to sew the lining, but we're going to leave an inch. Oh no, I've got it the wrong way. Haha. Haha, I've just remembered. It goes that way. Wrong way, Colette, wrong way. Now I know where I'm going. Haha, hey. I know where I'm going now. Right. Match my lines up. And the way I'm doing that is I'm just basically running this along the edge. There. Right. We need to find our center, so I'm going to take 2 pins. I mess this up, but like I say, I don't want to mess it up if I can help it. Right, we're going to take our 2 pins and we're going to mark the center. So we take our first pin and we place our pin exactly where the center is on the fold. There's a reason for all that in a second. All will be explained. And we're going to do the same on this edge, making sure our lines are marked up. I'm going to place a pin just there in the center. Right, now I've done that. Okay, we're going to leave an inch. Now I need my little marula. We're going to sew from the lining fabric. This is the lining. We're going to sew from there to there. From there to there, we're going to sew from there, and we're going to go right in the center. So all the way along the edge, and then we're going to leave an inch. And this inch will allow for our wire to pop through. So I'm going to mark my inch with my little ruler. There's my inch. And then I'm going to continue my sewing all the way down to the corner, just to those corner edges. So I'm going to put the pins in and show you exactly where I'm going to be sewing. One way. So there's one there. There's one there. One just there. Making sure those lines are lined up. Here they are. Perfectly. And I'm going to put one there. One there. One there. Right. Don't worry about these edges at the minute. We'll come back to these. So, again, let me switch you around to the sewing machine. Hoping that YouTube will catch up and you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Can you guys see? Somebody tell me. Penny says it's buffering. I'm hoping it's not buffering, Penny, sweetheart. Can everybody see the sewing machine? Right, I'm going to take this pin out. I'm going to do as I did before, 1/4 of a seam allowance. And sew. Take a pin out. So I'm sewing my outer fabric at the minute. Might have gone too close to the edge. Right, yeah. So I'm going to do that again. I always go too close. When I'm sewing 1/4 of a seam allowance, I got the foot. But for whatever reason, I'm going to try it. But for whatever reason, I always go too close to the edge. I'm just doing 2 lines of stitching at the minute. So this will ensure that my basket will not come undone. Right, there's my 2 stitching. Now I'm going to take it. Where's my inch? There's my inch. There. And then do this pin, and then I'm going to follow it all the way down. Just to that corner mark at the minute. do that seam allowance again, only because I want to, not because oh am I going? Not because of where the pattern says, only because I want to do it. Because I don't completely trust my 1/4 inch. And cut. Right, so you should have left there's a little gap here. There's our gap, and that gap is going to ensure our wire goes through the top smoothly. Oh my word, I've just tipped all my pins. Oh my word, pins. I've just tipped my pins all on my desk. Right, what we're going to do now is this. Right, so there is our where's our seam? Right, and I'm going to stick that off. Now it's totally up to you whether you want to do this option. I'm going to do it because my fabric is fraying a tiny smidgen. So all I'm going to do is just take a little bit off the edge. And this with the finger shears, and this will stop any fraying. This will stop the fraying. Right. Okay. So our next thing that we have to do is we're going to pin. We're going to sew. Now this is the. I'm keep reminding myself because, like I say, I don't want to be messing the two fabrics up. I don't want to be sewing the inner fabric with the outer. I don't want to be messing it up. So that's why I keep reminding which fabric is the lining and which fabric is the outer. Now, the way I've done it and the way I've remembered is the outer fabric is shorter than the inside. So this is my outer and the other ones that are the lining. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pin this together. And I'm going to keep folding. We've got some ironing to do in a second, so I'm not going to take it right to the edge. And then I'm going to, with the other side, you're going to leave a 2 or 3 inch gap. It's completely, totally enough to you what you do. Good. I'm so glad the buffering stopped for you guys. That's the worst thing when you're watching a live is the buffering. It can do your head in and does do mine. So I'm so glad that it stopped for you all to be able to watch tonight's live. Right. I'm going to leave a 3 inch gap only because I don't want to be messing this up. So I'm going to leave a 3 inch gap. So it needs to sort of go in the middle and in the center. So I've left a 3 inch gap. So there's my 3 inch gap. And this is on the lining of my basket. Oops. And I'm going to pin this together. And I'm going to pin this together. Right. What we need to do now is take, there is quite a lot of ironing in this basket involved, but once you've got the how to do it, then You'll be fine. Promise. I'm gonna sort of. No, I'm gonna sew it first before I line it. I think iron it. Only because it'll be a little bit easier if I do that. Will it? Or we'll see. Right, I'm going to leave my 3-inch gap I've left. Now undo this pin. And I'm not taking it right to the corner. There's a reason. So I've just done a couple of stitches there, and I'm going to do a couple of stitches over here. Up to that lining, just mark your 3-inch gap. So I've done there and I've done there. So that's that side done. There's the lining done, and then do this. And for this side, I'm going all the way across. Back on my stitches and cut. Right. Like I say, I'm going to make you feel a bit sick tonight. I do apologise. Right. So now I've done that. Now I'm going to undo this little bit. I'm just going to part my part this. Might not be able to. Should. I'm just going to finger press it all the way up. Come on, I know you want to open. Maybe I should have done the ironing first. Ooh. They need to come apart. I should have done the ironing first. Oh, Colette, you numpty. It's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I'm doing. Little do I know. There's a reason for everything in sewing. I'm going to bring it all the way up. I'm just finger pressing at the moment because I don't need to put it on the iron. Just finger pressing it. Come on. Oh my word, this. Come on. Oh, you want to. I'm going to be here all day now. Oh my word. Come on. There. There we go. There we go. There we go. Keep going. Keep going. You know you want to. You know you want to. Oh my word. Come on, Colette. Well, I think I should have ironed it first. I think. Just a small inkling. get away with not parting them? I'm wondering whether I can get away with not parting them. Should have sewed it first, ironed it first. Never mind, can't. I'm not going to go back and undo it just to iron this. I'm not doing it. Use your pokey tool and run it slowly. Oh yeah, what a good idea. Woohoo! Thank you, Penny. Oh, see? Oh, what a clever tip. That's a really clever tip. Hey, look at you, Penny. Woo! That's working. Well, I would never have ever thought to get a pokey tool out to spread these seam allowances apart. Wow, I can't believe that's worked. Then all the way up. Wow, I can't believe how that's worked. Thank you so much, Penny. Right, done all that, right. So, thank you very much, Penny, sweetheart. So, we've sewn all the top, the outer fabric, and we left our 3-inch gap I left at the bottom of our inner fabric. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to spread these apart, and where we've put our middle of our fabric with a pin when I did it right at the very start, undo it slowly and find the middle there. Undo this slowly. That's it. You sort of undo it just to make sure that the center that you put in is the center of that. Apparently so. Right. Now we're going to do something called boxing out corners in. New term to me, but we will see how we get on. So I'm going to use my little guide, and we do it my thing. We are going to go up 1 3/4. No, up 2 inches. Sorry, let me get it right now. Up 2 inches. So let me make sure you guys can see. I'm going to go up 2 inches. So each red square is 1 inch. So it would help if I added on the 1. Let me do this way. Right. 1, 2. Up 2 inches and mark. And you're going to go across 1 3/4. So 1 3/4. So you're going to do a line down. I'm going to use my guided. I'm going to use my mat as my guide. So up to cross 1 3/4. Cut this out, not with a baby scissors, with a straight scissors. And we're going to use this as our template to do out three other corners. One, two. Oops. Keeps landing on my pins. Let me move my pins a second. Let me do this edge. That's why I wasn't faster going right to the corners, because I knew I was cutting it out. Turn it round. And we're now going to do this corner. So cut it here. And then cut it up. Which for right hand. I can't do it. Why can't I do it? Everything's got to be... I'm right-handed, but if I don't have it in my left hand to cut it, I can't cut it. That's strange. Okay, so you should have your 4 corners, and this is called boxing in our corners. Woohoo. Right. Now, what we're going to do now is now we're going to find the corner of this. I'm going to match it up to the corner of that. And we're going to run a pin straight across. One pin. But I can see the corner now. Right. Now there's our outer fabric. So I'm going to do the outer fabric first, and then I'll do the inner fabrics. And the inner fabric is a little bit different. Hi, Divana. Oh, how do you say her name? Davita. Is it Davita? Oh my word. How do you say your name, sweetheart? Oh my word. Davita. The Davita? Break it down for me so I can say it. You know what I'm like. Oh, I do apologize, ladies. Right, let me know if you guys can see. Let me see if you can see. No, I need to be up. Down. Okay. Move up. Come on. And again. Where's that? That's better. You guys can see. Davita. There we are. Thank you, sweetheart. Right, I'm just going to sew where my pins are. Going in 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and taking these pins as I go out. This is why I should have pressed these seam allowances apart, but never mind. So where is everybody watching me from? I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to push it one. Oh, we're getting a basket. Right, let's do the other side. Like I said, I should have taken the time and steamed these seam allowances apart, and I don't know why I didn't. Trying to rush, I expect, to do the next part. With the mat, I know what I'm doing with the mat. So these baskets, I've never made a basket like this before, and I've never made this basket before. But if anything, I think crafting is about doing things a go, and if it doesn't work for you, then it don't work for you. Yeah. Okay, so we now have our two corners. So to help our corners out a little bit, I'm just going to snip the edges off. Making sure I don't go through these stitches at all. Okay. Make sure that you've stitched everything. Right, now this side. Woohoo, woohoo, nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. Right, this side. Now what I'm going to do, because of course I've cut my corner out, so my stitches by here, there's only a few holding it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch that very quickly, and I'm going to go back forward, and then I'm going to stitch that side and go back and forth, because what will happen is if I go ahead and box those corners in, the middle section will come out through no fault of his own, but he will come out because he'll think, oh, wait a minute, you've cut me off, so I'll come out. That's what will end up happening. Southern California, Tennessee, USA. Oh my word. Oh, I bet it's nice and warm over there with you guys. We haven't, here in the UK, we haven't had nice weather at all. I'm just going to snip these edges off. Right. Right. The next thing now is, like we did with the outer fabric, is we're going to mark this fabric up, line it up, spread these seam allowances apart. We'll line it up dead in the center of those fabrics, and I'm going to put a pin. Oh gosh, come on. I'm going to put one pin in there, and I'm going to put one pin in there like so. And then on this side, I'm going to find my machines come on. I won't say it in case you all have got a machine, but it's a computerized machine. It begins with A, and she does tend to come on by herself every now and then, and she does decide to play quite loud music when she comes on by herself. Oh my word. I was doing the video the other day. Well, I jumped out of my skin. I'm pin these edges together, and I'm going to start reading your comments in a second. I just had my finger then. No, I moved it. Did I move it? I want to make sure now that I get this exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to just finger press on that corner. Bring it up to, see how I've done a line by finger pressing it. Bring it up to that corner, and I'm going to pin it. Pin it there, and I'm going to pin it the other side. Quarter of a seam allowance. The seam allowance has not changed at all. And then I'm going to sew. And this will be our third corner. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what it comes out as. Right. Make sure I go right to the edges when I'm doing these corners, because I don't want to start unraveling when I've sewed it all together and I decide to turn it inside out, and hey ho, she's unraveled. There's that one done. I'm going to box this corner in. Not physically box it, but I will box it. Oh my word. Right. Come on, fiddly part. Take my pin out. And if you notice, I take my pins out when I've got my fabric in the exact place I want it to be. Cut, and that is the fourth box in corner. Hello, River dear. So you come in, sweetheart. I hope you're okay. And I cut these corners off, and as I've done with all the other corners, I'm just going to trim, stop it unraveling, edge. There's that one. Did I do it on this side? No, I didn't. There's that one. And okay, there's that one. Right. Oh my word. Right. This is the moment of truth. Did we manage to do a basket? So where you've left your 2-inch gap is where you 2 or 3 inches. I left 3 inches because I always like to have more to turn my fabric out than less. So this is where you reach for the very bottom and you begin to start pulling her out. And she will look something. Oh my gosh, she will look something like a basket. I'm so excited. Right, I'm going to press her inside out. So I'm going to take my inside fabric and I'm just going to shape it a little bit and give her a shape. But before I do that, it is always handy, Colette, if you sew this section before you decide to do that. So I'm going to fold my edges and I'm just going to run a quick, there we go. I'm going to run a quick stitch. Now I've turned, let me make sure I've got all my corners out the way I want it to be out. Because once I sew that, I can't play around with the corners. So I just want to make sure, yeah, got my corners. And I'm folding these little 2 gaps in finger press it, and I'm just going to run a quick stitch. Might have to put a pin in actually. Don't have to, but I'm going to. And I haven't forgot about our hinge. I will show you how to put that on in a second. I was nervous about the basket, but it seems to be holding quite well. And there's your little, well, my little stitch inside, just to make sure that that's not going to come undone. Or I've done it too close, or I haven't gone across far enough, which I have. Then get your basket, which I'm going to get my, let me bring you up a bit more. Your basket, turn it inside out. Now, your inner fabric, this is why your inner fabric's a bit bigger. There is a border of your inner fabric. Now, I'm going to just match my corners up. And it's quite a steep basket. And I'm just going to steam press or press. There you know. And I left, remember us leaving an inch? There's the inch. So I'm going to show you why I've left that inch in a second. And you're left with a border of the inner fabric plus your lace, well, plus lace border on the outside. Oops. And then once you've got what you wanted to get out of, and you've steamed and ironed it what you want, which I have, line your edges up. Look at that way. Right. Thank you, Penny, sweetheart. Take the wire. Now you'll need any wire, but I'm using quite thick wire for this because I want the basket to hold its shape. I'm just going to get my wires. I'm not finished yet. I'm going to do the mat and attach to the mat. Sorry guys, I've done a glass of water then. Right, take our wire off. Now our hinge, there's our hinge. I'll take it through with this type of wire. Now I don't know what gauge it is. All I know it's quite a thick wire. Okay. Because I want the wire to hold its shape. I want the basket to hold the shape, so the wire is going to do the job for me. For the basket to hold its shape. And I'll pull that out. So I've got. Here's that. Wait a minute. Right, start again. I'm going to top stitch this, I think, because otherwise the wire was going down the bottom, which is not what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run top stitch on the lace. So if I do it on the purple, you're going to see. If I do it on the lace, then nobody will see the difference. So now I've steamed ironed that. I'm just going to run a pin there. Pin there. I'm going to go on the lace, not the, making sure I've got enough of that fabric all the way around. I haven't done more or less. There. There. There, and one more. This is a bit like Angie's basket that she made. Me. I'm sure this is the same sort of technique that Angie did. I might be wrong. Oops. I'm sure it is, but never mind. We'll see. So I'm going to put the basket through. On any sewing machine, you can take the front off, and you can always put the fabric underneath. But in order for me to go round the circle, and for the stitches not to, I'm not stitching these two together. I only want to go round that purple edge. So I'm going to put the fabric over the thing, quarter of a seam allowance again. I'm going to lift this totally up, and I'm going to push it down. I'm going to take the pins in as I go. And I'm just going to stitch all the way around, making sure I A, don't go on that purple, and B, I take the pins out as I go. I wonder if it's the same technique. I'm sure it is. Pull this all the way around again. Pop my machine out. Pull that all the way around until I reach where I want it to reach. And I'm just going to go back stitch there and cut. And then I'm going to put the wire in. Now it's not going to go all the way through. It's a bit like it, but yours is a more sophisticated, beautiful. Oh, Angie, yours is beautiful. I'm sure you did. Yours is beautiful, Ange. Mine's sophisticated. I don't think so. It's a basket. We'll see if it holds to the runner. We'll see. But thank you anyway, Miss Ange. Right, now I can put that wire through, and it's not going to go down the bottom because I've done a running top stitch that they call that. What I've just done. Come on, bound to be a little bit more. There. And that will keep its shape of the basket. And then if you want to pull it out or make it less, you've got it. You can also put a piece of card in the bottom. I'm not finished yet because I'm going to do the mat. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave about 1/2 inch each side. And I'm going to bend the wire through that side. And I'm going to bend this wire if I can. Through, come on, that side. And you can also use, you don't have to use wire, like I say, it's just a personal choice that I decided to use. And then I'm going to do just a couple of little stitches, literally, but I'm going to just do them by hand, because it's pointless doing it on the machine because the machine will go too much, and I only want a couple. I'm going to go come on. Yeah. Would help if I put a knot on the bottom. Word. Right. Like I say, and the lovely Rian reminded me, the measurements of this basket are in the description box. So please go in, if you want to make it, they're all there. And I think from now on, whenever I'm doing, whenever I am doing sewing projects, I'll be putting the description. I'll be putting the measurements in the description box. That's what I'm trying to say. And we need to attach this now to the runner, to the hinge that we made right at the very start. Right, and I'm gonna pull that. I'll pop it right at the back of my knot. This is not being shown. Right. Now we're going to attach the hinge and make our runner. Right. I'm too old, you like. Fix it to a runner. Aha. Yes, well, you can fix it to anything. What I saw people do on YouTube, because this basket, my idea isn't mine. The basket idea originally came from YouTube, and she fixed this to a pincushion. But I'm gonna the runner itself. I haven't seen anyone do that idea, fixing it to a runner, and I haven't seen the pattern for the runner with the basket. So I'm saying it's my idea, but it might be out there as well. Does that make sense? It might be out there and I might not have seen it. But we'll go with it's my idea at the minute. Right. So the little hinge that we made right at the very start, we're going to affix that now. I'm going to push the wire right down so it doesn't affect those stitching. And I'm going to affix that to the top. Now you can feel the wire, so don't think that you're going to hit your needle with it. You're not. So the inside of your fabric of your basket, put a pin through. Pin will go through. There we go. That's better. The pin there, and I'm going to push this wire right down so I can always pull it back up later. That's a bit sharp. Right. And the same again. Should have done these pins on this side really. Let me switch the pins on this side. Otherwise I'm not going to be able to see where the pins are. Right. push that wire right down to the bottom where it belongs at the minute. I'm going to push this straight under and these pins up. I'm just checking that there is no wire at all to affect where this is going. I'm going to pull the basket around towards me. Bring it back on the stitches. I'm going to cut it there, lift it, and then it'll allow me to. And I'm going to do it again. Because it's a hinge and it's been fixed to a runner, it's been fixed to a mat, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it a runner. You could call it a mat. I want to make sure that these stitches are going to remain in place and they're not going to come undone. So straight stitch all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, and stop. Go back and you stitch in and cut the string off, lift the foot up. So we've got a basket that's got some wire in. Now you can lift the wire up at this point. You don't need to have it down. And I'm just gonna fix, so we've done it there, but I'm gonna fix the stitching at the bottom of the hinge as well. See if I can quickly do that on the machine. Okay, so all I did was stitch in the bottom. I've stitched on the back twice and I've stitched on the bottom of that hinge once. So there's 3 lot of stitching that's gone in. So like I say, you can put a piece of card in, you can put anything in there. Thumbs up, ladies, for the lovely Claire. Oh, thank you, Angie. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Right. There's the basket. Now the runner. There's the half of it. Well, we're at a halfway stage because we've just got to attach our runner now. Now the runner is made out of, now I've cut these strips, so you could use a jelly roll. You don't necessarily have to cut your strips up. I cut my strips up because I wanted the fabric to match the basket. So what I've got here is, you should have 5 of these, but I will show you the reason why I haven't got 5 in a second. And they're 2.5 inches times 16. And I'm sure I dropped a pin on the floor. Aha, on there. Sorry guys, it's just my doggies are in here, and I know if I drop a pin on the floor, it's going to go through their paws, and I don't want to be responsible for that. Right, you want 5 of each of the fabrics. Now I'm picking 2 fabrics only because I like the idea of the matching the basket. You don't have to pick 2 different fabrics. You can pick 1 and just go with 1. Like I say, I'm picking 2. So the idea is you cut 5 of each of your strips. You will need a piece of backing fabric as well, but I haven't measured that because I'm going to work out all the measurements once I do this little technique. So what you need to do is take one of one fabric and one of the other, and one of each. Put it on top of each other like so, and you're going to sew 1/4 inch, the seam allowance. I'm not changing the seam allowance. You can change it. If you do decide to change it, of course, your stitches will be bigger or smaller, and you're just running your stitches. Your strips will be bigger or smaller. You're just running your stitches all down one side of the two strips. Now something went by there. I'm just checking my fabrics are meeting, roughly meeting together. It doesn't matter if you haven't got your strips exact. Like say these are 2.5 times, what did I say, 16 or 17, I'll have to check, but they're 2 times 17, so you need all your strips, one of each fabric, facing each other down along one side of the fabrics. Getting rid of all these itty bitty fabrics. I'm taking my the threads off as I'm sewing this off each of the fabrics, so I don't want to get caught in the machine. So you do this with all your strips. So you'll have 5 of each of the fabrics. You can use a jelly roll for this. And like I said, I cut my strips because I wanted it to match the basket. Go back on the stitch in and cut. So you've now got all your strips, two of each fabric facing each other also. Cut your threads off, which I'm going to do on this one. I know you can't see it at the moment. Right. So next thing you do is, let me show you. So you've done all your strips. Doesn't matter if they're not touching on the shorter side, that doesn't matter. So you open one strip and it will look something like this. And I'm going to open the other strip. And I'm going to put this strip over the one side of my other strip. I'm going to match it up with the end of the seam allowance. So I'll do that again. Open your 2 strips up, and you cut out your strips. You should have your strips, once you finish, they should look alternatively. So it depends on what fabric you will bring out, depends on what fabric you pick up, depends on what it'll look like. But that's exactly what it'll look like, stripped wise. Gosh, that's a hard word to say. So I'm going to take this one side. So I've got one fabric facing up, one fabric facing down. Take one of the one side, make sure it's the alternative one that you sort of want next door to each other, and take the edge of this fabric and you want to line it up, that seam allowance. Now we will iron all the seam allowances out in a second, but this is just a little bit of a cheats way of doing it. Wait a sec. No, I've done that wrong. Wait a minute. I'm telling you wrong. No. See, done that wrong. I have to think about it. Yeah, it goes up and over. So, facing each other. No. So, scrap what I just said. Scrap what I just said. Facing each other. My word, where was my head at? Right. And you're gonna sew along one edge of your fabric. Now, if you're unsure what fabric you've just pinned or you've got facing each other, open these up and you will see that it's mine is sort of the purple, the white, the purple, the white, sort of that way. So all you're going to do is sew. So once you've got twos, you want to sew your two twos together till you get, so if it's 10, 2, 1, 2, 3, gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till you get 5 bows, 5 lots of 4. 5 lots of 4. You know what I'm trying to say. Do twos and then do 4s. So sew down a quarter of a seam allowance. It's not changing at all. Take the pins out as you go. Go back on these stitching. Quarter of a seam allowance doesn't change at all. Like I say, this pattern I haven't, well, I've seen patterns where they've used this method, but I haven't, this pattern's come out of my own head using a quarter of a seam allowance, making it into a runner. Doesn't matter if your short ends don't match up, because it doesn't matter. Right, so you've now got 4 pieces, and you do that with all your pieces until you eventually get, and this is where my other pieces were, till you get something that looks like that. So we're now going to sew this piece that we've just done onto that piece, and then we're going to see how I've missed there. I'm going to run that through quick. Ooh. Until you get sort of, that's what you're looking at. Come on. Okay. On that one. Oh my word. I'm going to do these seams again, just to make sure that I've got, they don't come apart. So just done that one, haven't I? Or have I? What have I just done? Got to do this one. Doing all these seams again because I don't want them to come undone. Right, let me see. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Right, start again. Right, so we want to attach this piece that we've just done to that piece I did earlier. That's why you need 5 of each colour. So alternatively, and if you notice, not the ends are not lining up. I'm not that bothered because they will line up once I finish, but I'm not that bothered at the moment what I'm lining up. All I'm bothered by is the fact my quarter of a seam allowance is a quarter of a seam allowance on the edges, and you join them up like this till you get sort of strips. Right, let's do this again. Chris, can I have a glass of water, please? Okay. Everybody can see you, lad. You know that, don't you? You are. Well, I couldn't help it. I didn't know you were coming in the room. But he just seen Tars and cry. You ran out of here so quick then. I don't know whether you saw him or not, but he hasn't got a top on. Got Tarzan on, he has no top on. He walks around like Tarzan these days. Right, back stitch and cuts, and we're on the next step. Thank you. And that's what it'll look like when you've got 5 of each colour. I love how this is turning out. The colours are marvellous. Oh, thank you, Penny, sweetheart. Right. Okay, so all your stitches in the middle will be 1/4 of an inch. But your edges, my edges aren't lining up. It doesn't really matter. I wasn't particular about how long I was cutting them, as long as it was 2.5 inches wide. I'm going to get rid of this book. There's all this in this lovely sewing book of mine, and you made me. Look, this is where I keep all my sewing gadgets. Is my patterns. And this pattern, like I say, I haven't seen anyone do. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to trim off the excess. But what I did earlier to help me out, because my ruler, if you've noticed, isn't long enough. So what I did earlier to help me out is use my other cutting board. Now you'll have to excuse the mess. And I'm gonna just snip, cut away. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be precise with the oh, it does help if the guard's off. Right. Ooh, crash, bang, clang. Bring that back up a little bit. See how it doesn't really matter, but the edges being straight. Your edges of your things that you cut, because I'm going to cut mine down, but you can take the time. I'm not saying no different. You could take the time and really measure out if you wanted to. All right. what I was going to say was, now we're sort of in the middle of our life, is I'm going to be doing a bit of a giveaway tonight. I haven't done one in ages. I'm not giving this when I'm making away, because I want to make, I'm going to make whoever wins one in their colour. So if you like pinks, I'll do it in pinks. If you like purples and like the fabrics I've used tonight, I'll obviously use the fabrics I've used tonight. But I want to give you the choice. I don't want to say what I've made is what you've got to like, because that's not my ideas. But I will put everybody's name into the hat once I finished, I promise. But if you stick around to the end, that's exactly what I'll be doing. It's like you're going to be given away. So you will have the opportunity to win the runner attached to the basket. But like I say, I want to do it in your colours. I don't want to be just, well, I'm making it in purples, and because not everybody likes the same things. I'm going to open my seams up now. And I haven't done one of these giveaways in ages. Right. Start with, take your time and open the seam allowances up. There's Teddy. Well, some people pay for their background noise. I don't have to pay for mine. It comes free. Just give him food once a day and walks, and he comes free for the background noise. So yeah, I'll be doing a bit of a giveaway tonight, but it'll be done in your colours and in your colours. So if you like pinks, I will do it in pinks. If you like blues even, I will do it in blues. Like you say, not everybody has to like what I'm making, and perhaps you like the project I'm making, but you just don't like the colours that I make it in, and that's fine. And that's why I want to do a bit of a giveaway. So I'm going to press these seams. Now, they're better if they're pressed out, because when you come to, which we are coming very close to putting the back on, this, it just makes for a better sewing if they're flat. Okay. I have one of those snoring dog background noises effects on my videos. I know, Ree. They come free, you know. You don't have to pay for them. You don't have to even download the noise. It just comes free. Thank you, Dawn Marie, sweetheart. Thank you, my darling. Just read your comment. That means a lot, you know, with all your lovely comments. It does mean a lot. And all your comments mean a lot. Whether I'm doing lives with Angie or myself, the feedback and your comments mean so much. Come on. Now this is going under my sewing desk, my sewing table. Open the seam allowance up. Now you could do this as you're putting each one on, or you can do it right at the once you've done them all. It's totally up to you how you do this, and when you decide to put this, open these seam allowances up. And the more strips you add, of course, the bigger your table runner will be. The less strips you add, obviously the smaller the table runner is going to be. And if it's small, then it might turn into, where's my pickup? My little tip the Penny said to me. There it is. this is a small seam. Penny, you know how I said I didn't know what that foot was called? It's a low shank foot. I meant to tell you that the other day when I went back on my because I've ordered it from Amazon. Oh, come on. See, sometimes the nose of the iron will do it for you. Separate your seams out. Does it for me only sometimes. Come on. Yeah. There. Come on. Come on, nearly there. There. That'll do. And I actually knocked my iron off. When was it? The other night. I was so proud of myself. I came out to my room and I was like, I've knocked my iron off. Because usually I leave it on. I'm really bad for leaving my iron on. I used to leave my glue gun on. Yeah, I did used to leave my glue gun on. I used to come in the room and the glue used to be melting down the sides. And I was like, yeah, left my glue gun on. Anybody else do that? Let me move this before it gets cold. Some of them won't open, and that's fine. I was just gonna iron them flat if they don't open. Being too stubborn, they're not opening for me. That's 3, I think they're on. Yeah. See if this one will open. Oh, we might get an open here. My word. It's so fiddly. I'm gonna have my fingers now, I can see it happening. I'm gonna iron these flat, I think. Because I can't open them, they won't open. do this one. I'm just pressing them one way down because they won't open. Press so down again. This one, see how it's ripping the other side? I'm going to take that on my machine again. Just that last one. And then we're on the back. And then I'm going to show you how to attach it to a, what am I going to, to the basket. There we are. It's down flat. No ways in bells hells I'm gonna have that to open. Should get myself a little mini ironing board. Like next on my list. I used to forget mine, so a new one shuts off. Oh wow. I did have a think about asking a machine, I won't say it because she'll come on, to remind me. You need one with a timer so it shuts off. I think I do. River, thank you so much, sweetheart. Right, so there is the runner, right? But now we've got to attach the basket to the runner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the sides that we don't need basket for a minute. And what we're going to do is, now it's totally up to you whether you want to put batting between or whether you want to put a piece of fabric between. I'm debating because if I put a batting, it's going to be that thickness, and then I might have to do a bit of embroidery. What I might do, only because I'm just thinking of the fact it's going to be a runner, I'm not going to use it for anything particular. I'm not going to be ironing on it like I used the other one for, and it's just going to be something that sits under my machine. I'm not going to put any batting in between the layers. But I did put batting in the measurements in case you guys wanted to do it. If you wanted to do it, then you would need to do it about now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, I have some new fabric. Again, and this is like a pink mosaic. And I don't know whether it will come up. I'm hoping that you will see it on the video, but it's like a mosaic effect. Like I say, it's going to be a runner. I could put fusible fleece instead. I don't want the big heavy button bit going between, or I could put felt for lining. It's totally up to you what way you want to do it. I'm not going to put any on because I literally just want some fabric as a runner, and I'm not going to, it's just going to be on my machine. I'm not going to iron on it, so I don't want the thickness of it. But like you say, I've put it in the description because this is sort of where I sort of leave your imagination run a bit wild here, whether you put batting on, whether you use lining, it's totally up to you and totally up to you what you decide to use. But now is the time to use it. So what I am going to do is I'm going to cut this little edge off. It's just where it's been in the factory and they've used they've used, Ted, they've used a machine on the edge. They do call this the edge row, I think they call it. Let me cut it instead of trying to cut it with scissors because I'm not going anywhere far. Right, where's my there. There we go. Right, lift this up and push that down. Now, it's totally up to you whether you want to add more. This is why I didn't put the measurement for the back, because if you wanted to add more of the strips, you can make it a hell of a lot longer than I've made it. Mine's probably, well, to give you an idea, this mat is 16 inches by 16, 17, 18. It's about 20 inches by approximately 20, 24, something like that. You could just keep adding strips and adding and adding and adding. And this is why I didn't put the measurement of the backing, because again, totally your choice to what you decide to use. So I am now going to cut my backing for my fabric. So I'm going to put my fabric face down on this beautiful mosaic. And I don't know whether it will come up. I'm hoping you guys get to see it because it's such beautiful fabric. If it does wedge, it might do, you know. I don't think it will. No, it won't. It's longer. So I'm going to have to go this way. Right. I am going to pin it. And this is where I'm going to use my pins. And I haven't attached, this is what I'm saying about you could do the basket, or you could do the basket, or you could do the mat, or the runner, or you could do both. Totally and utterly up to you which way you wanted to do it. Right, I'm going to just put it face down at the minute. And the pretty side is on the outside at the minute. Remind me, because I will forget. I'm just pinning it down for me to cut it. I will lose where to cut. Right. That in there. There we are. Okay. Like I say, this is miles longer than my mat, which is good in a way, because I want it to be bigger than my mat, if I'm honest. Right, lift this up. And I'm going to cut it. Come on. Okay. Turn it this way. just cut it all the way around. I'm not leaving an inch or anything, because I'm going to be cutting it on my machine as is. Shall I put that in between? I don't know whether to or not. I'm debating. I don't particularly want to put that in because it's too thick. No, I won't put that in. No, I won't. No, I won't put that in between. He's very cute. Teddy, well, yes, if you hear it once, I suppose. He's a King Charles. Yes, he is, really. Thank you, sweetheart. He is a King Charles, though we do think, and the vet seems to think, he's crossed with something else, because when we paid for King Charles breed, we did, but Teddy, they seem to think he's crossed with, I think they said a pug, no vet, because he asked me what breed he was, and I said King Charles. He said, no, he's not King Charles. I said, what do you mean he's not King Charles? I paid for him to be a King Charles. He said, he's not a King Charles. I was like, what? As you can imagine, I wasn't pleased, but I still love him all the same. But no, he is, if anybody asks us what we say, he's a King Charles Spaniel. Right, I'm going to take these pins out because my fabric is facing the wrong way. Okay, it's the pretty size on the outside, but I need it on the inside. Right, where's my ruler? There's my ruler. I bought myself a little ruler because I was fed up of doing just that. Every time I'm sewing, is rolling my fabric out. It's trying to get all the bits and pieces off the fabric. Right, I need to iron this, because if I don't, then, and it turns out to be creased, then that would be a shame, because it's the last thing that we need to do is add this on. I'm going to turn the heat down now. There. It's like a mosaic effect. I don't know whether you guys can see it. I'm hoping you can. And it's like it's not cotton. It's like poly cotton kind of fabric. So I turned it right down. I'm going to spray some spray starch on this, I think. Methinks. Like I say, it's the last bit of the project. Stiffening them out. Okay. Okay. Can just make it out, Claire. You can just make it out. It is really, let me try and see if I can hold it against the light. I don't know whether you guys can see it. It's real, like a real faded mosaic effect. And it's really light, and this is the reason I'm using it, because I've used such deep purples and deep lavender colours. You can just make it out, can't you? Yeah. I wanted something quite like contrasting. Does that make sense? Right. Let me get my lint roller up to. Gosh, right. Right. Right, there is a right and a wrong side. No, that's the right side. It's really hard to distinguish what's the right side and what's the wrong side for this pattern. Right, let's get our two right side fabrics facing each other. The Paisley. Is that what it's called, Penny? I'm not sure. Is that what it's called? Might be, you know. I think you're right. Yes, you are. I remember. Yes, you are right, because when I got it, I remember the woman saying it. Now you've said it, I remember the woman saying it. Thank you, sweetheart. Cutting the raw edges on my. Right, let's get some more pins on the go. Oops. Right, I'm going to pin this, all this. Some more pins in because I want it to stay where it is. Right, let me get 2 pins because I want to show you something. Okay, now totally up to you where you want to put this basket. You can put it on the long edge or you can put it on the short side. Again, the option of where you put it is totally and utterly up to you. I'm not going to distinguish where you've got to put it because this pattern is what I call a free pattern, because you can go any which way you want with it and it wouldn't really matter what way you went with it. It would still turn out equally as nice. I'm going to put, because of where my table is and where my sewing machine is, I'm going to put my basket to go on the short end. And I'm going to put my basket, I'll tell you how many inches I'm going in. Where's my, there it is. I'm going to turn my basket 4 inches in. So I'm going to go in the center. Going to be my hole for my basket. That's 4 inches. That's going to be where I turn it out. Now, let me just, if I do, so I'm going to turn it out. So if I go this edge, I'm going to put my basket, distinguish there. And I'm going to get 2 pins. Now this goes about there. So you make one side is your opening, one side is where you attach your basket. Right, once you've got where you're going to attach it to, the easiest way to do this, because this is such a big area to sew, is sew all your other areas first and then come to your short sides afterwards. If you go ahead and try and attach the basket, what is going to happen is as you go round, the basket's going to get in its way and it's going to become more of a hindrance than it is pleasure to be able to sew. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Is, like I say, or you could completely go against what I'm saying, totally up to you. Right, I'm going to go in 1/4 inch and I'm going to sew all the way down my long edges. All down my long edges. Make sure your needle's in, and I'm going to stitch up to where I put my pin. So turn your work and now stitch up to where you've put that pin. Okay. Oh, teddy bear. Right, now, as you sew, your fabric will move because it's the worst thing when you sew because it will tend to move about. So start, leave your gap. You'll need your gap. Put it down and sew. Just going to move it ever so slightly all the way around. And turn it this way. So I'm sewing down the big long edge now. And I'm just gonna straighten out my fabric. Right, turn it. And zip up a little bit more. I thought I did. Right, turn it to that pin. So down. Back and cut. Right, so you now got one for your opening and one to put your basket on. So we're now going to do the basket, where we're going to put the basket. So undo these pins on your short side because I've done the long sides. And I'm going to put my basket, I'm going to flatten it down just for a minute. I'm going to stick it inside my cover. can always reshape it after. That's why I put the wire in. And take your little hinge. Now I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance off. So I'm going to go in 1/4 but leave 1/4 over, hanging over. Pin this. Where have I done that? Wait a minute. Doesn't sit right. Don't sew it. Oh, come on. Bit fiddly, but you will get it. Come on. There, that's better. Right. It's going to be a bit tricky to sew. I'm going to sew down there, but I'm going to move my basket in more so my hinge is all straight. Because the machine's locking it down. Right. Now I should be able to sew that all the way over there. Where's my other foot gone? Oh, please don't say I've... There it is. We'll see how we get on. Her got change her got change her foot. Show her doing it. Show it. Cut it. Right, now I'm going to go over that hinge again because that hinge is going to hold my snippets, and my snippets ain't light. Cut it, leave it, and then right, undo these pins. It wasn't the wire, Penny, sweetheart. I know what you're saying to me. It wasn't the wire that was getting in the way. It was fiddling around with it to make sure I had enough to come over the fabric so that I wasn't relying fully on the doodah. I know what I'm trying to say, but I know what you're trying to say too. You could take the wire out, I suppose, and give that a go. Just gonna, because these edges are really wanting to cut these corners off. I'm really wanting to fray, but I ain't gonna give him the opportunity to. Like I say, this is quite big, so it is going to be fiddly, because the bigger you get, the more fiddly it gets. But it is worth it, I promise. Down this edge now, and then we can turn it inside out and actually see the the final look with the basket attached to the runner. And because it's gone under my machine, I haven't got to add any weights to it or anything. Now, if it wasn't going under my machine and I was just purely having it as is, I suggest in your handle, when you fold it in half, stitch it in half and put some weight in your handle, because otherwise every time you put it on your table, your basket will drop down to the floor. But because mine's going under my machine, it's not going to have that opportunity to undo. So take these 2 pins out, pull it from the other end. Ooh. Hiya, Carla, sweetheart. So we've got the basket, and we have the table runner. Oh my word! Pull your corners all the way out. So just going to go, and this is why I didn't put any batter in. Right, and now I'm going to run the iron over my table runner quickly, and it's on low temperature, it's not on high. But if you're putting wadding in, then you might have to do a bit of top stitching to get it flat, or it depends on what wadding you're putting in or interfacing. And once I've sewn this, like I say, I will put, I won't be giving this one away, because like I say, sometimes you like something and you don't like the colours that they're making it in. So I want to be able to make whoever would like one in their colours. So I'm going to pin all this, just pin it, tuck my edges in, and I will show you what it looks like once I've stitched. So stitch your, oh, that isn't catching, stitch your edge in there, stitch your edge in like so. Come on. Right, I'm going to get another pin in the centre. Right, this is the final sewing. Right, make sure you get your corners out before you stitch your closure. I'm going to go right to that very edge. I'm going to turn my stitching down. Okay. Sorry guys, I know I moved you then. Undo this pin. Cut. Oh my god. Right. I'm just going to snip those starting the threads off. Right, I'm going to bring my basket into shape. Right, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So, what it looks like is, wait a minute, is, tell me you guys can see, tell me if you guys can see the basket on the edge of the table. This is where my hand is. You all see what the basket is? Oh, you guys can see. I'm hoping you can. You'll probably see it upside down because I am turning the camera around. Yeah, you can. This is the basket, and that's going to hang, and the hinge is going to allow that to hang nicely. So this is the basket for those that didn't see it. I did it all in lavender colours, and then we've got the beautiful table runner to match. Now I'm going to get my book, and I'm going to put those that would like one of these in a hat. But let me find my pen. I have my pen somewhere. Oh my word! Come on, Claire, find a pen. Where's my pen gone? My orders for actions. Dawn Marie says move up. Oh, can you not see it? Wait a second then. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hanging. Tell me if you can see it hanging. Love the lavender colours. Right. Yeah, you can see it. I can see the edge of my table. It's upside down, but you can see it. Right, who would like me to put their name into the hat? If you would like one, what word can we use? All in one. So just type as the word one, the number one in the comment section, and that's all you've got to type. Is the letter one, the number one, not the letter of one. And that's the table runner. And I didn't put any word in between that. It's just fabric, but you can. Rian says one. Penny. Angie. Deal. River. Who's thinking then? Have I missed anyone? Oh, Dawn Marie. Right, so I've got Penny, I've got Rian, I have Angie, I have Sue, I have River, and I have Dawn. Have I missed anybody? I'll give it a couple of seconds to catch up because I might have missed you guys. Might you look at that thing? And Sue, did I not hear you? Yeah, Sue, sweetheart, I've got your name. And whoever wins, can you, if you haven't got my address, can you email me? Angie, could you put my email address into the chat for me, sweetheart? And let me know your colour scheme. Because like I say, sometimes you love what they're making. You don't like the colours that they're using. So I want to make something in your colour scheme. So let me know the colours in your colour scheme if your name comes out of the hat. Email me. I will email you back. It does take me a couple of days because I do forget my emails exist. But I will look out for your email if you're emailing me. Oops, River and Dawn Marie. Okay. getting them all roughly the same size. And over here. Okay. Chris is not going to be pleased because I've just used fabric scissors to cut paper with. Thank you, Angie, sweetheart. Right, I'm going to fold all these names in the hat. And like I say, if you like one, let me know your colours, because I don't want to make one that there aren't in your colour scheme. And it'd be nice anyway for me to make it in your colour scheme rather than me make it in mine. But it's the basket attaching to the mat. And if you do try one of these and you do make one, or you make one of these and you do a project share, please let me know. I would love, I'll keep my eye out on YouTube, but if you do attempt one of these, let me know, because I would love to see how yours turn out. And like I say, you could either make the runner by itself, you could either make the basket by itself, or you can make the two in one and make them both. So this project sort of gives you 3 different options and gives you different options as you make it. Like I am putting no batt in between this, all lining, as in I am putting nothing, it's just fabric. But that's another option it gives you, whether what you use. So thank you all for watching me. I'm going to announce the winner. Thank you all for watching me. You don't have to, please don't panic about paying postage, because you don't have to pay postage, of course not. But like I say, if you win, please email me if you haven't already got my address, or we're not friends on Facebook or whatnot, and let me know your colour scheme. And I can't wait to see what yours come up like. Right, so let's announce the winner. Woohoo! So the winner is dun, 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 River, sweetheart. You are the winner of one of these. So please email me, River. I don't think you've never won anything off me. I can't recall, but I might be wrong. I'm so thrilled. And just to let you all know the names that were in the hat were Penny, Rianne, Dawn Marie, Angie, and Sue. Thank you all for watching. River, sweetheart, please contact me and let me know your colour scheme, your pinks, you know, whether you like blues, greens, whatever you like. Because I know not everybody likes lavender, that's the other thing. So yay! Woo! Oh my word, Penny! Wow, great minds think alike, hey? That's spooky. Woo-hoo, I've really enjoyed Saturday night coming live with you. I will be back next week live with the lovely Miss Paisley, and like I say, I will be back live on Friday next week. I do apologise I weren't live yesterday, but I hope that you saw the video that I put out, and that was able to give you enough notice to let you all know that I wasn't coming on. But yeah, I really enjoyed coming live with you on a Saturday. It makes a change to sitting there just watching TV. And please let me know if you give this a go. I would love to see how yours turn out. I really, really would. It's one of those projects where, like I say, it gives you so many options, and you could add to it. You could even add your vintage pictures to it, your lace. You could go crazy as you want, or as little as you want with this kind of project. And like I say, you don't have to add the wire. I've only added the wire for the stabilization of the basket. The other thing you could add, now, like I said, the basket idea I had from YouTube. I'm not going to say I didn't. But the other idea that the lady had was, you know, on the packaging, and you either get it in blue or white, and it's really hard plastic. It's like bone plastic. you could use that in your basket. So you don't necessarily have to use white, it's just what I had to hand. But yes, so excited. So thank you so much for watching. Mwah! Love to you all. Good night, God bless. And yeah, thank you all for watching and all my thumbs up as you always give me. So thank you so much. It does mean a great deal. And I will be back next week with a lovely Miss Paisley. And until then, have a lovely rest of the week, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching me. And I will catch up with you all next week. Bye for now, ladies. Bye.